Hey there, this is K4A Knowledge for All educational videos and tutorials. In today's video we are going to learn how to comment code blocks in Scratch. As you can see is on this thumbnail image, the way to do it is just right click the Scratch block on which you want to add comment, then pick add comment option on drop down menu and then type something in this yellowish block. This feature is not only Scratch related, in GameMaker, in Unity, in Unreal, in any game engine or application where you develop something, you can comment your work, and there are numerous reasons for that. One of the reasons is that you can for some reason forget when you work on some project or on some game for a longer time and you make pauses. For example, you work for a day or two, then make a pause for a week, then work a couple of days, then again pause and stuff like that. So you will forget what you have finished, where are some kind of problems, what you need to do, and similar. So the fastest and easiest way to keep the track is to use comments combined with the stuff which we have talked about for GameMaker, those notepads, info, and those. Also, the probably the most common reason is to use it to describe some kind of problem, again for yourself if you are working alone on the game, or for your teammates if you are working with more than one friend or colleague on your game. So we will see that in practice. So for example, in my game so far I have coded that we will move this piece of code here. So let's say we have coded this. We have Scratch Cat on our left side of the screen, and we have coded it to move from left to the right, but the problem is that at some point the cat stops. So this isn't very smart way to do it. We know how to do it probably by right click duplicate this code which we have learned in previous video, but that isn't very smart because we will have literally like 100 of code blocks and so on. So let's say we just don't know how to do it, and for some time in the future we just cannot resolve it by ourselves. So one way to put some kind of remember me note here is just right click on the Scratch block, add comment, and then type here whatever you want. You can literally move this up and down depending on how many code blocks you have here to make it clear. Also you can drag and make it bigger or smaller, but the more important stuff is what you are going to write down here. So for example, I can say, okay, I have a problem, so I will type a problem here. So when I minimize this, like pressing on this arrow, this will remind me later when I come here. I will see, okay, so there is some kind of problem here and it should be resolved. So later I can try to fix it when I learn more. Okay, so what is the problem? Let's try to describe it. I said two. I need to finish two things here. The first one is the code is too long. I don't know how to make it shorter. There must be some way to do it. Check YouTube, ask teacher if you're in school, or some kind of friend of colleague, team member if you are in some kind of studio, and so on. So that could be the first problem. The second problem would be the cat the cat doesn't reach the end of the screen, it has to touch the edge. Okay, so you can see how I have described two problems, and for example, if I don't have time or knowledge to fix them now, to solve them now, it will be here to remind me. So later when I learn how to code, I can just, or some of your team members, okay, someone solved it, and then he can just click on this X sign to delete it, or maybe even better, just if a couple of you are working on the same game, say something like problem solved. I have coded this for you. You should use the repeat block instead of that long block code. Anything you think you need here could be. Okay, so for example, if you come later to your studio or game team and you see this works now, when I press the green flag to start the game, now my game works because someone coded this for me. Okay, this is great, but I still don't know how to use it. Who did it? Okay, problem solved. I have coded this for you. Okay, you should use the repeat block. Maybe someone should write down his name, like maybe Mike or... Okay, so I know now that repeat block is the one which I need, and I will now check it to see how it works, experiment with it, learn it, and so on. So, or maybe Mike could also write down, check this YouTube clip, and then paste the link here. So you can see it's really very powerful feature in Scratch and other game engines. So comments are used very often. I recommend you using them, and again, it doesn't matter if you're alone making the game. You will probably make some pauses and then forget where you have stopped, what you have finished, and so on. And even if a couple of you are working on the same game, even if you help each other by coding together, you don't have, for example, I don't have to delete this big code block. I could just detach it, so now it doesn't work, but I could just write down here more descriptive explanation how I did it, so this guy here can use this one instead. If he's still confused, he can just detach it and attach this one, simple as that. So code should be commented. It doesn't matter how often or how many of you work on the same project. I recommend it, so experiment a little bit with commenting your code, and on the long term you will see the benefits. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.